Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Let's give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, word of millstone, that taught us this word. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth. Just got this article out of RT, and basically, Israel is reneging on their, peace agreement. Because there was this war going on between Gaza and Israel, and Donald Trump set up this peace plan for them to stop, and they all agreed to it. But now Israel is going back on their word, saying that they're not going to leave the land. I guess part of that peace agreement was for them to leave that land to them so that they can be a sovereign group of people. But, now they're going back on their word, which is nothing new with these people and their forked tongues, But this article is dated December 23rd, 2025. It's entitled "Israel Will Never Leave Gaza." Defense Minister Israel Katz is mulling the re-establishment of Israeli settlements in Gaza in defiance of the U.S. brokered peace plan. Israel will never leave Gaza. The remarks triggered widespread backlash, prompting Katz to backtrack on his assertion somewhat. The minister made a statement on Tuesday while participating in a ceremony to mark the opening of the 1,200 new homes in the occupied West Bank. We are deep inside Gaza and we will never leave. There will be no such thing, he stated. When the time comes, God willing, we will establish in northern Gaza the Hall outposts in place of the communities that were uprooted. The minister was referring to the type of military agricultural outpost established by the country's troops in both Israel and Israeli occupied territories throughout the second half of the 20th century. Basically they're going back on their promises or treaties, but this is nothing new when you look back on the American history on how they broken a lot of treaties with the natives. So I just did a little Google search. How many treaties were broken with the Native American tribes? And the AI overview said, while the exact number is debated and hard to quantify precisely, the consensus among historians and Native advocates is that the U.S. government broke hundreds of treaties with indigenous nations, with estimates suggesting nearly all of the over 370 ratified treaties were violated to some degree, leading to mass land loss, cultural disruption, and ongoing legal battles for rights and recognition. Key points on treaty violations: scale of violation. The U.S. negotiated and ratified over 370 treaties with tribes, but nearly all were broken, often systematically, to facilitate American expansion and resource extraction. Intentionality. The treaties were often negotiated with the goal of acquiring land, with the government failing to uphold its promises of sovereignty, resources, or protection, which is, in reference to today with the Gaza. Major violations include the forced removal of tribes, like the Cherokee via the Indian Removal Act, violating existing treaties. Violations created a lasting legacy of injustice, leading to ongoing fights for land, water, and cultural survival. So pretty much, that's the point. This man is not doing anything new. Father of lies. Least of the flock, drawing them out. But this is Most High controlling them, and inching closer and closer to that day of destruction. Look at the Psalms. So Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Yeah, so I mean, this is just who the devil is, man. As soon as they be born, estranged from the womb, man. Speaking lies, man. That's the scriptures say. Like scripture says, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who, where, and who is he? Yeah, the earth is given to the wicked, man. That's how you know who's ruling. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So, these are the wicked, man. The wicked that is spoken about in Psalms is the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. So that's what this man is all about. But at the end of the day, it's just the Most High controlling this man, It's Job 4:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. So there's no change in who this person is, man. He's born to be the wicked. He was created to be the wicked. And he's always going to be the wicked until, he's wiped off the planet Earth. Like I said, this is the Most High using this man to bring forth, his judgment and his will. He's being controlled. The Most High is working on the minds of these different leaders, for his, ultimate judgment, which is that nuclear destruction. Because eventually, Russia is going to get involved. The U.S. is going to get involved. Russia is going to be a guard unto these smaller Middle Eastern nations, as the scriptures say. So they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, man. The last scripture, Proverbs 16:4. The Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Yeah, so the Most High created this man for the day of evil. The time of Jacob's trouble, which is coming up, hour of temptation, and ultimately, that nuclear destruction. He's going to push that chip on everybody to where you can't buy anything or sell anything unless you have that mark. Scripture say, he had made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked, for the day of evil. So, hey, this is the Most High controlling this man, Yeah, this man, a forger of lies. He'd be speaking lies since, he's been born. As scripture say. He said, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this out real quick. The forked tongue is doing what he does. They established a peace plan, a treaty, but they broke it. They're not planning on leaving the Gaza Strip. They're planning on building the little settlements or whatever plans that they have. But this is all according to the Most High's plan, man. Just like he broke all them treaties, the natives. He said it was 370 ratified treaties were violated in some degree. Hundreds of treaties with the indigenous nations were broken. So the U.S. government broke hundreds of treaties with the indigenous nations. Gad, Reuben. So this is what this man's doing, what he does best. Yeah, just want to bring this out real quick. With that, shalom.